Rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
From the gridiron to the ball diamonds, from the hardwood to the ice rinks, from the fairways to the octagon and everywhere in between. If it makes headlines, it's fair game on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network. And we welcome you to a special bonus edition of the Sports Reel podcast live here on the PFC Entertainment Network. Along with Tim Sheridan, Eric Mandel, I am Jason Klaus. We certainly appreciate you tuning in here. Impromptu bonus edition. You never know what you're going to get. We don't have necessarily a structured format, so buckle up and enjoy the fucking ride because we don't know where we're going with this. Gentlemen, I know this isn't exactly what we had initially talked about doing, but be that as it may, we do get some extra time with one another this week, and look, I'm fucking here for it.
I'm excited. One of the highlights is always Tuesday, and I'm happy we can do it again. It's always a good time bullshitting, making fun of fucking Tim and all that. And
you're making fun of shit, motherfucker.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
He's had some, so it's gonna be a good time. But yeah, always looking forward to this. And we got a little bit of news and a little bit of stuff, to talk about. I don't know if Jason's seen some of it or not. We'll get into that. But hey, Tim, how are you little bitch?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, if people join this at this point in time, I'm sure we're gonna have people join, and I'm assuming we're gonna see Scott here in a little bit because he was on with us when we went drunk live a little bit earlier.
It wasn't that drunk. Now it's more drunk live.
Yeah, like we're a little bit more drunk than we were earlier, so it should be a pretty good time. Just waiting for people to jump on here. But if you were with us earlier, thank you for joining us at that point in time. But now we're once again live with Jason. Jason, it's good to see you. I'm doing great. I don't know how many beers I've had.
Jason, did you see the news today about the Lions?
If we're talking about Frank, then yes, I did catch the headline. I didn't go into the actual article, but I did see the graphic and the headline. He's coming out of retirement to rejoin the Detroit Lions, and I'll be honest, when I saw it, Tim was the first one I thought of. I'm like, this dude's got to be stoked right now. And then I saw your TikTok, or I think it was TikTok or Facebook.
He shares them both, but yes.
Dude, yeah, I took my pants off.
Okay. Okay. Buckle up for the fucking ride, 'cause I didn't even know that part.
I didn't have any pants on when I made that TikTok. I was so fucking excited.
Okay.
I can imagine. We did post a link on the Facebook feed. If you are joining us here on Facebook, there is a link in the live chat. You click on that. That will actually bring you on to the show with us live as we're doing this. There's no format. There's no time restraints. We don't know how long we're going to be here for, but we're here for a good time. So let's dive right into it. Frank Regnow coming out of retirement today. This was something that was not on my bingo card, if I can be honest with you.
Hell no.
So this has got the entire state of Michigan talking. I mean,
the whole NFL, really.
If you're a Detroit Lions fan, if you're a football fan, this is exciting news.
You want to know the craziest part is? He had until today to come out of retirement. Because after today, he couldn't. This was the last day he could do it, and he chose to do it. So I don't know what persuaded him, but this was the last day he could come out of retirement to rejoin the team. So if he better late than never.
You know what persuaded him was that he was getting bored of sitting at home. It's
He catches a lot of fish.
He catches a lot of fish. Hunting season's heavy, but he's probably already shot a couple deer this year, and he's I'm getting bored.
But like you said though, he had that extra time off. His body rested. He probably started feeling good. But like me and you said earlier, he said he stayed in shape, but is he in football shape? There's two different things. That's just like you guys stayed in shape. There's probably a difference between staying in shape and wrestling shape.
I mean, there's a
100%.
big fucking difference.
Yeah, so it just depends on what kind of shape he's in. Hopefully, pretty close football shape, but if not, they'll get him there. But I'll say when I read the headline, at first I was like, oh, this is a joke. Then I seen who posted it, said the NFL. I was like, okay, hold on. Went to Yahoo, it was there too. And once I read it on Yahoo, I got goosebumps. I was like, man, that's what we needed. That's what we need. We needed our chief and commander back at center to help out. That's what we needed.
Dude, I was so geeked for this. The first thing I wanted to do as soon as I read it, actually, I had a bunch of guys run into I was sitting up in the office at that point in time. I was trying to look over what I've done for the week so
you
far.
had your pants off. You had your pants off in the office? What the hell?
Yeah, like sometimes you just got to take your pants off. But I still had my ninja pants on.
Okay,
my
Mike
thermals.
Pryor. Okay, Mike
They
Pryor.
make me want to do roundhouse kicks on everybody. But I had a bunch of people run up and be like, did you see the news? I'm like, what? So I hurried up and opened up my phone. I was like, oh shit. So I had to hurry up and jump on to TikTok and post a live. If you're from TikTok, thank you. If you haven't went and liked our TikTok yet, it's at Sports Real Podcast. Go give it a like. It's a lot of fun. But
there's Scott. Scott's back.
Yeah,
I'm
right there with you, Scott, because I was checking for a legit link because half the time when you're dealing with this, like, I don't know if a lot of people realize this, when you're trying to like post actual legit news, you have to go about through 5-6 links before you find one, unless you get it from a reputable source. Usually I go straight to like Ian Rappaport or somebody who's going to give you a reputable.
I go to Yahoo. Yahoo's usually pretty good.
Yeah, Yahoo's
or
pretty good.
NFL,
NFL was one of the later ones on this one.
Really? Yeah, I was just...
Adam Schefter was the one that I saw.
Okay, that's a big one too. Yep, he's a big one.
Something. I was like, okay, this is legit.
Yeah, either him or Ian Rappaport post something. At that point, I'll turn around and post it. But I was so excited. Like, I don't go live from work. That's one of my things. So if you notice in the video, I actually covered up my label of where I work with a sticky note. I'm like, I don't want anybody to know exactly where I work.
It's Dildos RS if you want to know.
Yeah, like, so you don't know where I work, but I had to go live right there because this is the biggest news that we've had in a while. This is something that the Lions have been struggling with this season, is with a little bit of that offensive line, especially now that Mahogany's out. They were doing okay before Mahogany was out, but now with Mahogany out, they've been hurting a little bit, and we'll get to this in a minute because I'm a little worried about tomorrow's game.
I do have a question for you though. You and Jason.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to bring to the locker room for these Lions?
Oh,
what do you think it's going to give them that bite in the ass they need to win out the rest of the games?
I think it's going to bring a lot of hype. I think it's going to bring a lot of positivity.
You got him back because he lost him in June. So it's like, man, Jared Goff's got a center back. Glasgow's got his center back, his right-hand man. And then you have, Tate Radledge that's learning and doing pretty good this year since he has started. Now you have a veteran center that has been, I think a 4-pro all center that's going to teach you to just a little bit more from a veteran's point of view. And then you're going to have Penei Sewell on the right. By that time, I think Tate Radledge next year is going to be one of the best offensive guards, learning from those two guys.
I mean, if you look at his PFF grades, he's been doing excellent this year.
Yes, and I'm just saying,
regardless
but you're going to learn from now. You're going to learn from, the 4-pro all
four-time All-Pro fucking center.
Yeah, you're going to learn a lot. Like that dude's a brick wall, and you're you're just going to learn the little bit. It's the tricks of the trade. You're going to learn a little bit more.
And then, with him there now, we can move Glasgow back to his normal position of left guard.
And you can help out Decker.
I mean, this is fuck. Like, I'm getting excited for the Lions. It's not going to show tomorrow. Like I said, I'm a little worried about tomorrow's game. Glasgow's actually out right now with a knee injury. He's not going to be playing in tomorrow's game. So we're going to have a backup center, a backup left guard. It's going to be a tough
short
game.
ball.
And on top of that, Brock Wright's out also with a knee injury. So we're going to have a third string, tight end. So, that tight end position is also very important for, blocking schemes. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow against the Green Bay Packers. But do they still have it in them? Sure. But they're going to have to really get some grit in them tomorrow to win this game.
If you want to win, you got to do quick passes and screens and run the ball.
You're going to have to. I mean, and this is the
You
thing.
got to get the ball out quick. You cannot hold on to the ball long. You got to get it out and let your guys in space take control.
Scott just pointed about it's survive and find a way to fight to next week, because as soon as we get Ragnow on that line, as soon as we get Glasgow back in his regular position, I mean, this is going to be a completely different offense for the rest of the season, because the big point of the Lions, where they've been lacking this year, is a little bit on that offensive line, and we haven't given Goff enough time to really develop these plays. And I think with Ragnow back, as long as we get the Ragnow back that we had last year, and we're going to have a well-rested Ragnow. He's going to be well-rested. He's had about 11 months of rest. He's going to be coming back hopefully strong, and we're going to start seeing the Lions that we saw in previous years, hopefully. And if we get to that point, we can just keep climbing that ladder, probably win this division and make our way to the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs. That's what we're hoping for right now, and I think this is a big move. Jason, fill us in a little bit more on your thoughts.
The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this, and I recognized that this was a real thing. This wasn't just some bullshit fluff story. The first thing I thought of was, who made the call first? Did the Lions call him, or did he call the Lions? And, when he announced his retirement, we sat here on these airwaves and we questioned, like, what in the hell is going on right now? Like, this was not something that we thought was that we would have to be talking about. Why is he retiring? Was there something else going on? Was he just that banged up? Eric brought up the point of, okay, he's saying he's in shape. Is he in football shape? Tim, you and I know, based on our previous lives as professional wrestlers, there is a huge difference between being in shape and being ring ready. And you wouldn't think anybody who's not involved in that kind of activity, not just wrestling or football, but I mean, to be any kind of athlete. And yes, I went ahead and put pro wrestling as an athletic thing.
You're damn right it is.
And if you argue that, you're fucking wrong. There is a difference.
Say athlete.
Oh, fuck you.
I'll kick you right in the fucking teeth, and I'll show you how it was. Just kidding.
You put you in a ring for 10 minutes, you'll be puking blood, bro.
Probably.
You ain't shitting.
But I can say, shut up, Tim, that I did play football, so I understand the whole football already. That week of hell week is fucking hell. But after that last day, you're like, man, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm great. I did so much running, so much bullshit. But yeah, it definitely, there's difference. After football, I was in shape, but I wasn't football shape. So yeah, I'll give it to you guys. There's ring ready and there's in shape.
Oh, there's definitely, and ring ready to get you some time. And actually, while we're at this in a little bit after you're done going down
sorry for
the Frank Ragnow road here in a second,
with you guys.
Since we have some free time, I'd like to get into another topic where we can actually give some of our audience some of our background here so they can kind of understand who we are and where we come from. You know what I mean? But go ahead and finish up on Frank Ragnow there.
Tim, no one cares where you came from.
You said something, what does this do for the locker room? And the short answer is exactly what they needed. Mm-hmm. The Detroit Lions, coming into this season, were looked at as one of the favorites in the NFC. And now as we sit here going into week 13, they're not on the same level nationally that they were a year ago. And is it the 4 losses? Is it the way that they've been playing? Like there seems to be something missing, even if it's on a low key level. And I feel like the players are the younger players especially, maybe feeding into that a little bit. So with Ragnow coming back and in the manner that he's coming back, you've got to believe that his first appearance walking into that locker room is, we're here to take what's ours, and I'm here to help lead the charge. And the morale boost that I've got to believe that the locker room is going to feel, especially with his first game back, that is going to very quickly resonate with the entire atmosphere of whatever stadium that they're in, whether it be Ford Field or on, an away game or what have you. Frank Ragnow's return is going to resonate on multiple levels. And the Detroit Lions, all of a sudden, are now once again somebody to at least look at. If not, be like, oh man, now we're in fucking trouble. Because maybe that one little piece that was missing that we've been seeing materialize on the field has made a comeback. What kind of comeback? Is it going to be a triumphant return? I believe it is going to be. This is the spark that the Lions have needed. And it could 100% not
agree.
Come at a better time.
I 100% agree with you. It's gonna that morale in the locker room is gonna be huge, and all that, and it's gonna definitely hype up the guys because it's what you wanted. You wanted him here for the ride this year, and he didn't. He sat out for a while, but now he's coming back, and he's gonna boost that confidence you need in that locker room and that offensive line, and look out. The Lions could win out after if they win this week, they could win out the rest of the year. If they can somehow, with a lot of injuries and all that, get past it and, find a way to win, find a way to be gritty, bite some kneecaps, get in there, win the game, it's going to be something different.
Well, when you brought up the injuries, we brought this up earlier.
Hold on. Live update. The Wings are down 4-3 right now. They were up 2-1. Nashville scored 2 goals in about 5 seconds. And then the Wings tied it up. Yeah, the Wings tied it up, but now they're down 4-3 in the third with 5 minutes left.
That reminds me.
And then, Tim, shut up. I'm not done. I don't know if you've seen the Pistons' winning streak did end tonight against Boston. Me and Tim did watch it. Cade Cunningham had a chance to tie it with 3 free throws, made 2, missed the third one, and that was it. But they played a hell of a game to the last second because even Tim said – they can make 20 seconds last 20 minutes, and it did.
Oh, dude, it did.
It was a foul game. It was a foul game and free throws, and then they got the call, and Cunningham could have tied it up with 3 free throws, made 2, missed 1. It ended, but hey, like Tim said, you can't win them all.
No, I was going to say, I want to get a nice little 32-inch TV for up there or something so we could actually be watching the
that'd be great. Yeah, we could have the Red Wings on right now. You're right. But
keep up on them.
Yeah, so that did suck. But hey, if you're gonna lose anyone, at least you lost to a good team.
Yeah, and that was the matchup that I called. When we went live yesterday, I said, we're going to see a lot of what they are against Boston, and even though they lost against Boston, they stayed right down there to the final seconds, and it was a close game. It was a tough fought game, and the Pistons, they were in it the entire way. They very well could have won that game. It was back and forth the entire game. It was a hard fought game, and 13 games is impressive enough as it is.
They tied the franchise record. I wish they could have beat it.
Yeah, it was a fun little run there, and I think they get right back on it. To be honest, I think the next few games is a pretty soft schedule for them, so they can build that momentum right back up again.
So I'm looking at the Lions schedule, getting back on the Lions thing.
I'll tell you it right now. We got Green Bay, then we got Dallas on Thursday, then we got the Rams.
Yep.
And then I've lost track. I know the last 2 games are the Vikings and the Bears.
Don't forget the Steelers.
That's the one I'm missing is the Steelers, and then that's the one I'm missing. So reality, if you can win tomorrow, if it's a low scoring game, whatever, that's great. Then you come back Thursday against Dallas. They're a tough team. We always play Dallas tough. Is it in Detroit?
That one is in Detroit. No, that one's in Dallas, isn't it?
No, it is in Detroit.
It's in Detroit.
So that's a big home field advantage.
So that could be the welcome home for Frank the Tank.
Then we go to LA to play the Rams, which we need all our starters for because they're playing hot. Then I think we're at Pittsburgh, correct?
No, we're home against Pittsburgh and then at Minnesota,
Then
at Chicago.
Okay, so we finish at have 2 rival games. Need to go into Minnesota and win. It's always tough to win in Minnesota. It's always tough to win in Soldier Field because Bears are playing hot. Like Tim said earlier, if the Bears win Friday, that's something to be concerned with. If they beat the Eagles Friday, that is something to be worried about.
Yeah, that'll give us an idea of what the Bears are. If they can beat the Eagles, then the Bears are the real deal. Kind of the real deal, because the Eagles have kind of been a little soft this year too against bad teams. But it'll give us a better idea.
The Bears ain't a bad team.
They're not a bad team, but they haven't really beat anybody besides the Steelers without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So we still don't know exactly what the Bears are. They have a soft schedule. They have one of the, the easier schedules in the NFL. So we'll have to see what they are at that point in time. But if they can beat the Eagles, that kind of puts them in a different category that we need to start actually worrying about the Bears.
I think you worry about them now.
I'm not worried about it.
It's a NFC North rival. It's the Bears. It's something you don't take any team from the North lightly at all, ever.
I don't know. I can't get behind like Caleb Williams. He color matches his nails to his uniform. Like,
he's a little fruity. It's fine. Let him do his thing.
It's just I can't get behind him yet. Like he's good, but like I don't know. It's like
I will never be behind him, but you got to take him as a threat. He made it to the NFL. He's at 1%.
There's a lot of people who make it to the NFL that don't ever turn out though. Chicago drafts a lot of them. Look at Mitch Trubisky, for God's sakes.
But they made it to the NFL, so they're that good to make it to the NFL.
Sometimes you have.
Shut up! Not getting into this. Nope, no, shut up.
GMs who draft people that should never have been drafted. They drafted Mitch Trubisky over top of Patrick Mahomes. Like, what the fuck?
And I'm happy they did, because then Patrick Mahomes would be in the fucking North, you retard.
No, I'm okay with that, but that's just the dumb fuck. Don't call me the R word. That's
Rick?
So rude.
I called you Rick.
So rude.
Rick the retard. That's what you're being right now.
You just did it again. Damn it.
Fucking frustrating the shit
I have
out
to
of me.
deal with here?
Yeah, look at you. Fucking.
Now he's going to come with some type of other insult.
I just want a beer.
I'm offended.
Clifford.
No, I gotta come up with something better than that.
That one unfortunately didn't go viral.
It did not. I was upset about that one, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Probably got shut the fuck down.
Probably did. It was like, oh, you said.
I think as soon as you drop the R word, I don't want this video to get shut down. It probably got just throttled like a mother truck.
Hey, well, it hit me a little bit, so I can say it.
Oh, Scott's got season tickets. Oh, lucky trucker.
Oh yeah, he's dialed
Isn't he joining the show? I thought he said he was enjoying the show.
He's in here already, dude. Aren't you looking at the things?
Well, I meant like live.
No, he's not.
I almost said it again. He's in our
chats. He's hanging out in the chat. Stop calling me the R word.
I did. I held back on that one.
So mean. So mean.
Hang on. I'm gonna send the invite to your Facebook Messenger. And
get in here, Scott.
See if that works out better for you.
I'm gonna go tinkle.
Oh, Princess has to go tinkle. Make sure you sit down. Wipe from the front to the back.
He's a funny dude.
Oh, he said the link's not letting him in. Oh, I just caught that. Shit, I'm 10 seconds behind on everything.
Yeah,
Jason, how's your night going? Did you get everything you guys needed to get for Thanksgiving?
I think she got everything that she needed to get. Yep.
Rock on.
It went a little bit longer than I had hoped. I was hoping I was going to be able to make it out to where you guys were at, but listen, Tim, you go into any kind of store on the eve of Thanksgiving and it winds up becoming a complete shit show.
Yeah,
this was no exception.
Everything, even traffic, even just coming home from work was a fucking battle. I'm like, holy shit. Like, Lapeer was a fucking I've never seen it so busy that time of night. And usually, because I take off a little bit early from work sometimes. And today I left around 5 because I had to go pick up some Chinese food for dinner. But even at 5, it was just outrageously fucking busy.
Can I show you something that did happen? I mean, this is completely off topic, but
Okay,
This
so
is the
I
perfect
left. I
off-topic
left for
show.
a second. I left for a second. Tim, shut up. So I just want to
Hold
get that out there.
Samantha picked up one of the things that we had to do was she wanted to pick me up one of my Christmas gifts early. Can I show it to you real quick?
Yeah, we're
Tim,
down.
you're going to appreciate this.
Oh, I do. Oh, old school. You know, I might actually somewhere around here. I have some of those old school '80s fucking thing. Is that a retro like
This
'80s?
is the re-release.
The
Yep.
re-release of it. I have some of the originals around here somewhere in a
I still
box. Like
have mine too. Yep.
I have a shit ton of them that my buddy Drew gave to Chase when he was younger.
Okay. We are
The originals around
we
here.
are
Oh.
being joined. Scott, good to see you, brother.
What's up? How's it going?
We put
Good.
a name to the face now.
Or
I know I
face
got
to
it
the
to work.
name. This guy's drunk. You're a name to a face.
That's
Yeah.
just like I did
Or a
the Eric and the Sports Reel podcast TikTok.
Oh, dude,
Shut
like,
up!
I have so many great like fucking blooper TikToks. Like it's fucking
It's
amazing.
great. We had a good time. You know,
You're going to
even though
have
it's
to
Tim.
send those to me so that
Send
we
the one
we
I
can
just
make
made
it
for you,
real.
Tim.
Yeah.
No, don't send him that one. Don't send
Oh,
him
hold
that.
on. Let me
Don't send him.
Jason, I'm gonna send you something in your actual
Okay, Scotty Bugatti. How do you think that the rag now coming back is going to affect that locker room?
It's gonna help us. It's gonna be huge for us. We just got to
Okay.
survive until we can get them in the lineup now.
That is true. That is
Find a
very
way to
true.
win tomorrow.
That's the biggest thing is winning tomorrow because we already lost one to them in Lambeau. We can't lose at Ford Field to them.
Yeah. Well, they're banged up too, though. I mean, they got a lot of injuries, and that offense hasn't been that good the last month since they lost their tight end. And,
Kraft? No, not
yeah,
Tucker Kraft.
Kraft.
Yeah, Tucker
yeah,
Kraft. Yep.
Tucker Kraft.
Yep, that is very
Plus,
true.
they don't
have
have
not been the
Reed,
same.
so they're hurting on the offense as well. So it's going to be survival of the fittest tomorrow, I think.
I think they really need to. They're going to play small ball. You got to throw it out quick. You got to get screens. You got to run the ball. I think that's how they're going to win tomorrow.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're definitely not going to have a lot of time. So,
Well, you got to get
and not
St.
abandon. They
Brown.
can't abandon the run either because seems to be like the games they struggle. They tend to abandon it pretty early on. And
100%. I
Can't do
100%
that.
agree with you on that one. But you got to get the ball to Williams and St. Brown and Gibbs and Montgomery out in space so they can do something.
yeah,
You got
definitely,
to
I agree.
get Tesla in there too. You got to do something. What one did you send him? You fuck. What one did you send him?
That's not the one that you fucking recorded while I was up taking a piss.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, made sure to send him that one. We got Scott on. Tim, talk to Scott. Come
Hey,
on.
Scott, what's going on, man?
What's up?
What do you feel about the Pistons game tonight?
I haven't really got to watch the Pistons yet. I'm kind of not much of a. I get into basketball usually when football gets over. You know,
Okay.
it's been all football for me right now.
So I have a question
Football,
for you.
college.
Okay, perfect. Are you a Michigan or Michigan State fan?
I'm a Michigan fan through and through.
Oh, thank God. So we can talk about the great rival.
I'm
I
actually
had to talk to
watching.
Jason. He's like, I'm a State fan, so it's not the greatest. I'm like, this is why I kind of like you, Jason. No, I'm kidding. I love you, but
I'm actually watching the Michigan basketball game right now because I kind of I don't get into basketball early, but I've heard a lot of good things about them.
Killing it. They've been killing it.
And the last two nights that I've seen them play, and even right now, they're beating Gonzaga 24-8 already, 7 minutes in.
Holy shit. Okay,
this-
Michigan
this
might be the
team
real
is-
deal.
This team is for real.
Michigan might be the real. But what? So Saturday, we're going to be live. Taylor's Tavern, me and Jason. Tim's not cool enough to come with us. Bless you. But how do you think it's going to go? How do you think Michigan can beat Ohio State again
Oh, it's going to
for
have
the
to be a rock
fifth year in a
fight.
row?
I'm allergic
gonna
to
have
this
to be a
bullshit
rock
next to
fight.
me.
Oh yeah,
It's going
100%.
to have to be ground and pound.
They
I
have to.
hope
They
the weather's
have to-
sloppy. I
Oh, it's
hope
going to
it
be.
snows.
Oh yeah, it's going to be.
I mean, that's what did it for us last year.
That is
Slowing
true.
it
Well,
down,
no,
turning it
the
into a
weather
rock
was
fight.
nice. The weather was nice last year. It was
I
sunny.
know, but just turn it into a rock fight because they were stupid and didn't play their game. They played our game, and Ryan Day has like I was typing in last night. Michigan's in his head for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And if he comes out and coaches his game, I mean, they should beat Michigan, but he doesn't do that against Michigan. So if it turns in, and if the
But they
weather's
have
the
a
way it's
very,
looking to
very
be,
good defense, and defense travels and all that. But I think if Michigan can get up 7-0 in the first or the second, and keep it close, I think they have best chance to do it.
yeah, they haven't played in any. Ohio hasn't been in any pressure situations all year.
The only ranked team they played was Texas week 1.
Yeah.
They went into Illinois and played Illinois. Yeah, Illinois is not the toughest, but it's still Illinois and all that. So they didn't really play anyone yet.
No.
That's Texas in week 1.
The longer it goes and we keep it close, the better I like our odds.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what I feel. I feel like
I
it's
like
either they're going to come out and blow us out of the building, or they're going to let us hang around for too long and we're going to find a way to win. I think it's going to go one or two ways.
I think that's what will happen. I don't think they're going to come out swinging right away because, like you said, we're in Ryan Day's head for some reason.
Go Ohio.
I fucking hate him.
No.
Fucking hate him.
I gotta mix it up a little bit. No, I'm rooting on Michigan, but I gotta bug this son of a bitch next to me.
Hey, something random, Jason. What do you want to bring up randomly? We were talking about,
We could bring up randomly that video I just sent him. That was funny.
It was. I'm just happy. I'm happy he's seen it
over there.
Happy he's seen it. We were talking about maybe the GOAT conversation. Maybe we should bring up the GOATs of each team. Who do you think that is?
It's been a while since we've done a GOAT topic here on the Sports.
And we do got
podcast.
Scott here too, so it's a little bit different. So we got a four.
Yeah, I'd say I don't know. Got a lot about hockey, but I know about.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Well, it'll be me and Jason. We can bring that up. We all know about the Pistons a little bit, the Lions and the Tigers. So let's start with the team that's not playing right now, the Tigers. Who do you think the number one GOAT is that you think of when you think of the Tigers?
You mean right now or as a whole?
All around.
All around?
All around.
That's such a tough question.
That's a loaded, yeah.
When I think of pitching,
it's Verlander easily.
Well, I mean, you can make an argument for a couple of guys. Jack Morris,
that's true.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I thought of.
He was really the anchor of that generation.
Your guys' age is showing, so yes, I did not know that.
Okay, well, I mean, if we're gonna go way back, we could talk about McLean. He was the end all be all for a long time.
That's fair.
I mean, Ty Cobb. How can you not mention him? How can you not mention Kirk Gibson? There's so many. I mean, each era has their own GOAT. You know what I mean? But to find that definitive one, like who is the embodiment?
I guess
of the Detroit Tigers.
I guess you could say the person you think of right away when you think of the Tigers. Who's the number one player you think of? Okay, that's fair.
Because and it could be because of one iconic home run in a very pivotal point in history.
Well, I can tell you mine just off that sentence too.
Was that Ordonez, right?
Yep. 06. Yeah. That watching that still gives me goosebumps. I'm like, man, I watched that live and that was iconic. That was iconic. So that's the one to me.
Yeah, this is it's a generational question because it depends on what generation you come from, and we'll get to this in basketball a little bit, but this goes because if I had to pick my GOAT, even though, I mean, when you're starting to talk about Kirk Gibson and stuff like that, I was alive for that era, but not old enough to remember it. So if I had to pick my GOAT, it'd be this gentleman right here. It'd be Miguel Cabrera, one of the best hitters of all time. You can make a strong
argument for him.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where I would go. But it's such and that's why I love these conversations because it's generational. You know what I mean? I mean, Eric's going to pick people different than us because he's a child, and I'm kind of in the middle of that, thing, being in my 40s. So we're all going to have different answers depending on what our generation is. But yeah, 100%. I'd have to pick Cabrera. Scott,
who would you pick?
I mean, I'm an Alan Trammell guy myself. I'm kind
of okay.
I would definitely say.
So I think I'm guessing you're closer to Jason's generation there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he and Lou Whitaker did for the amount of time that they were on that team together Like that's never going to be duplicated ever again. And the fact that Alan Trammell is in the Hall of Fame and Lou Whitaker is not is
That's
a
crazy.
fucking travesty. The
That's all
fact that
because of prop betting.
I mean, the fact that Ozzie Smith can be inducted, and look, when you look at the numbers side by side, Ozzy may have a slight advantage in a couple of categories, but overall, Whitaker's the one that has the more impressive resume. But I've said this time and time again so many different avenues. The thing that has kept him out of the Hall of Fame is the logo that he wore on his hat. The fact that there is a prejudice against the city of Detroit's teams
Detroit
is
versus
a
everybody.
it's ridiculous. And it's the only reason why Lou Whitaker is not in the Hall of Fame right now.
I
There's
can
no other logical explanation behind it when they're letting other sons of bitches in there that at the end of the day could not lace his cleats. And it's all because of the hat he wore, unfortunately.
That's fair. That's fair. How you guys describe him, it sounds like he was, like I said, it's a generational thing. So yeah, that sounds like he was one of the top dogs in Detroit back in the day, and he should be there.
I mean, Dave came out and pointed out his is Al Kaline.
Okay.
So Dave's out there showing his age also.
Okay.
But I'm right there where, I mean, if I'm not going to pick Cabrera, I mean, I would go Cecil Fielder, you know what I mean? Because that was another name from the youth that really, did a lot for the city of Detroit. Unfortunately, it didn't lead to the success that, like, what I thought Miguel Cabrera had, even though they didn't win a championship. They've made, World Series appearances. So, yeah, I mean, it's all because Cecil's actually more to my age of growing up compared to what Miguel was, because I was an adult by the time Miguel made it into the thing. But I fucking love Cabrera.
I just think
how could
because
you not
the
love
just
him?
the suspense of what Maglio did in
Oh,
that
that
game,
play, yeah.
that home run, walk off home run to send the Tigers to the World Series since '84. I'm like, that was just. I remember that like it was back, like it was yesterday, where I was at when it happened, all that. It was nuts. It was fucking nuts.
I think of Ordonez and I think of my mom because he was her favorite player.
That's fair. That's not a bad
And
thing.
she wasn't necessarily a big sports fan, but there was something about him that she really gravitated towards.
It,
That home run to send them to the 2006 World Series over Oakland, I would put that right up there as iconic of a
Oh yeah,
blast as what Gibson did in Game 5 of the '84 World Series. The thing,
100%.
the difference between Gibson's and Ordonez's was there was an established storyline in Game 5 of the World Series. It was Goose Gossage who had struck out Gibson in his MLB debut.
Hmm.
And the fact that Gossage did not want to walk him, even at the insistence of Padres manager Dick Williams, like he set his own table for failure, and
Hmm.
Gibson was not going to be. He recognized what was happening, and Gibson was as intense of a player as I've ever seen
Hmm.
in this city in any sport. And for him to hit that blast in that game at that time, man, that is going to be remembered as one of the greatest moments in Detroit sports history.
Oh
Scott,
yeah.
would you agree with that?
I would, yeah, definitely agree. That's a pretty good moment there. Like my personal favorite, and that's probably just biased from being there. Like for all the talk about the Tigers of the 2000s, even though Kenny Rogers was there for like such a short time.
Hmm.
2006, you talk about 2006, the World Series Game 3 that he pitched, the one game that they won. That was probably the most electric crowd I think I've ever been a part of in my entire life.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I got to go to that game that
Oh,
year.
that's nuts. That
Um,
would be
that
crazy to go to a
even
World
with the
Series game.
Lions games and everything, and I've never seen a crowd so crazy and just the ovation that he got at the end of that game. It's just something for me that so that's always stuck with me as like literally the greatest crowd I think I've ever been around.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That was a big. That's when they tried turning around, but unfortunately they did not. But
yeah, that was the only game they won that in that series.
Mm-hmm. So I do have a question just for Scott. I mean, we're talking about great moments and all that because you're watching the Michigan basketball game right now. You grew up in the era where they did win national championship in '84.
Well, 89.
Or 89, that was it. Yep. I was wrong about that. And you did see the Fad Five in person and all that. Who sticks out for Michigan basketball for you? What iconic moment?
What iconic moment?
Yeah.
I mean, the worst moment. I mean, unfortunately, it's the worst moment. It's Chris Webber.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
The moment you'll never forget.
Yeah, that's fair. So like for me, it's Trey Burke versus Kansas.
That was that shot was insane.
That three, like I watched every game that year and all that, and that game, he went off. That's what I think of Michigan basketball is when he made that three from far back in that 3-point line and sent us to win that game in overtime. So, that was a wild shot. I see your point, and it was a bad moment because Chris Webber at the timeout. That's what they're known for.
Yeah, unfortunately, that team. Yeah, they had a great team and
didn't win it
couldn't win a championship.
Yeah, 2 years in a row they made it and they could not win it. That's fair.
I actually watched the documentary on ESPN.
Of the Fad Five? It's a good one. It's a good one.
Very good. Very good. It was very well done. And like I was aware of what was happening at the time that it was happening. But
you have five of the best. Yeah, you have five of the best basketball players going to one school, and somehow you don't bring a national title there.
Yeah, I almost felt bad for him. Almost.
Almost only counts as horseshoes and hand grenades, but I see your point there. But what do we want to get in? We want to get into the Red Wings, Lions, or Pistons is the next iconic moment. Timothy, you've been kind of quiet.
We can bang the Red Wings out real quick. Obviously, I grew up in the era when the Red Wings were pretty dominant, and I'd have to say my favorite. And I know Eric's going to go Gordie Howe, but I'm going to have to. But I mean, you're going to go.
No, my iconic moment is when Steve.
Well, I'm not saying iconic moment. I'm saying we're talking about the GOAT.
Oh,
yeah, and you've brought this up plenty of times where you said that Gordie Howe was the GOAT of the Red Wings, but in my time of growing up, I'd have to say it was Steve Yzerman. Steve Yzerman led this team through a very,
I wouldn't say Gordie Howe. I will throw a name out there I don't think you'll be ready for, but
you've said Gordie Howe so many times on this podcast.
Yeah, because in reality, the franchise, yes, it is Gordie Howe.
Well, we're talking about the GOAT.
I'm talking about for me though. I'm talking about moments. I'm talking about the player.
Now you're switching the whole thing. We were talking about GOATs, and now you're talking about moments.
Well, yeah, we were talking about how
the fuck are we doing? We need to drop a few beers here out of your thing.
Jason, can you take over?
We're getting into GOATs here. Are we talking about GOATs or moments?
I don't know.
Or we covered. So when we were talking about
what
Tigers,
moment did Cabrera make for you? Because you said that was the Tiger
every moment he was up to bat was like you were on the edge of your seat. But we'll talk about the GOAT, and then we'll get into a moment because that's what we did with the Tigers. But yeah, if we're talking about the GOAT of the Red Wings, to me it would have been Steve Yzerman because he led that whole that '90s team through there, and they were so impactful, and they were dominant over the NHL at that point in time. So mine would be Steve Yzerman. Jason?
Yeah, I would have to agree, Tim. Look, Gordie Howe set the table for the franchise, but Steve Yzerman, what he did for this team was on more levels than what Gordie Howe did. Mm-hmm. And even here in 2025, now that he's the general manager, he's still
right, Dave. Yzerman or Lindstrom, 100%.
You can make an argument for Nicholas Lidstrom. You can make an argument for a couple of different guys.
Hendrik Zetterberg, Pavel Datsyuk, Bertuzzi. There, you can go down the list.
But only won championships though for us out of that list.
That is true.
Yzerman is the one that really is the heart of the Detroit Red Wings.
I
For
agree
me.
with that. I agree with
So
that.
he's my goat. Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Scott?
I definitely agree with that. Like I said, unfortunately, since the salary cap, I haven't really got, that kind of killed hockey for me.
It's
But
fair.
in that day and age, yeah, I mean, I loved it. I loved everything about it until the lockout and everything kind of changed for me.
So
I
what is the one Red Wing moment that you remember the most? Scott, we'll start with you. What is
I
the
would
one you
say
think of?
the double overtime against St. Louis, the Game 7 winner for Yzerman.
Okay.
It's a great
Yeah,
one.
that is a great one. Tim, what is yours? No, you don't know? Good.
No, like if I had to look back, what was it the big fucking the one standout moment? And it might not even be like anything in particular, but what was it? Chris Osgood that dropped his gloves and went out to center ice and fought the other. What was the other goalie's name?
Patrick Waugh.
Patrick Waugh.
Yeah,
Wow.
Patrick Waugh.
Yep.
They got in
March
that fight.
26th, 1997. That's my
Yeah,
moment.
dude, that's my standout moment
there's
right
that date
there.
right there.
Yep, like that was an iconic like Red Wings moment to me right there to see two goalies just drop gloves, go out to center ice, and just start beating the shit out of each other. Like that was, I think that's the most iconic fucking moment, Red Wing moment to me ever.
Jason,
Darren
what's yours?
McCarty. Darren McCarty.
All right, I already know where he's going with this.
That shot of him with his
Just
arm
standing
with his
over.
hand
Yeah,
up,
100%. Yeah.
that is the definitive moment. That one block, that one moment in time, perfectly captured. This is the Detroit Red Wings, and that for me, that is what stands out as the greatest moment in history because that I mean take nothing away from the Stanley Cup Finals and what Scott had alluded to with the double overtime win for Yzerman. Those are great moments. But for me, knowing the backstory, what led up to that night with the Colorado Avalanche and all the bullshit that went on with them months prior to that, to see Darren McCarty extract that moment of revenge, not just for himself, but for his teammates and for the city and for the team, bro. And I went and seen him do a stand-up thing in Flint a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years ago, and that's what his whole bit was about the fight. And to hear it from his perspective was some of the funniest shit I have ever heard. Him and Claude Lemieux could not
Mm-hmm.
stand one another,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that they're here in 2025, they're friends now. They actually
Wow.
go on
Wow.
tour together, and to tell their different sides of this story. But that shot of him with his fist drawn up, I'm like, that's it. And it's going to take something extraordinary to overtake that in my mind as the greatest moment in Red Wings history.
I gotta agree with Scott. It's a double overtime against St. Louis. That's the one I think of. Just Eisman from the blue line, just slap shotting and it goes in, and then just celebration from there. That's mine. But yours is a very very close second. If that moment caught in time at the perfect moment, you could not write it up any better.
Mm-mm.
You couldn't.
I do have to point out here, Eric totally skipped over who his GOAT of the Red Wings was.
It's Eisenman.
Okay,
Gordie Howe did great things for the Red Wings, and he set the bar. But Eisenman, getting drafted, become the captain of the team as a very young player, 18 years old, and he made the Red Wings who they are. Yeah, it's Eisenman. It's Eisenman.
Okay.
It's Eisenman. Yeah, you could argue it could be Brett Hall too, because in my eyes, he was he was a quiet player. He was a quiet player, did the dirty work, and he did what he needed to do, and that's what that team was. He was not anything special. It was about grit. It was about playing tough. It's about playing hockey. If anyone, Brett Hall pops in my head first. I don't know why. That player he always stood out to me.
I mean, there's so many
Always.
players besides the players that are named by you, you can even go down the Fedorov road. You know what I mean? Like how much, Fedorov did, plus the whole entire Russian five that did for the Red Wings. But
It's one of the greatest franchises in hockey.
Yeah.
And I hope we get back to that and all that. And Eisman's working on it. I'm gonna check the scores right now, see if they lost or not. But start off the Pistons, Timothy. Who's your GOAT for the Pistons?
that one's a hard one because in the era that I grew up, Michael Jordan ran the league.
That is fucking horrible. The Red Wings lost 6-3 to the Nashville Predators. That's great.
Yeah, Red Wings are kind of slipping a little bit. But like the era that I grew up in, I've said this plenty of times on the show, I was a Bulls fan. I grew up in the Michael Jordan era. Like, how could you not be I mean, Jason, I know you were never a Jordan fan, but my God, like what he did to, fucking change basketball around in general and bring the spotlight to basketball because he was so dominant over everybody else. But if I had to go back to my favorite Pistons player ever, I would probably it's a toss up between Isaiah or Joe Dumars. Like it's really a toss up. Like that era right there, the Bad Boys era, they kind of dominated, in the late 80s there. So I'd have to say that they were good because the 90s were kind of fall off. I mean, the only hope that we had in the 90s was Grant Hill, and he didn't really pan out to anything. And we didn't see much to the early 2000s when we had Chauncey and, Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace, and we had Prince. But I'd have to say, I think the greatest era was, the Bad Boys era, and I'd have to put Isaiah out on top there. Jason?
Scott, what's your opinion on this? Is it Isaiah Thomas? Is it Chauncey Billups? Is it Joe Dumars? What's your opinion?
I mean, you could go Isaiah or Joe Dumars. I feel like statistically Joe Dumars did better, but I feel like from a leadership standpoint, Isaiah was more important on that team. I mean, I was a big Rip Hamilton guy during the second run. Because I've always enjoyed watching UConn, and then the Pistons got him. So I've always been a big Rip Hamilton guy as well in that conversation. But you can make an argument either way for Isaiah or Joe Dumars, honestly. It kind of depends on what you value more.
I think that was the greatest era of the Pistons, though, honestly, was that Bad Boys era.
Have you guys all watched the 30 for 30 on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Incredible.
What sticks out to me is when Joe Dumars was playing the game, his dad passed away, and Isaiah was talking about it like, hey, like he's like, he threw that one up. He's like, I don't know how that goes in, and he goes, that's sent up from above, and I'm like, that gets to me. I'm like, that's deep right there. I'm like, that's something. When players play, when they have a family member pass, like the only other iconic one off the top a little bit is when Brett Favre played when his dad passed. How big of his dad was in his life, and he goes and throws for 3 touchdowns and some odd yards right away. It's like it's a special moment. So like that's what makes me think of that when Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas with that. But
I believe that was Game 3 of the 1990 Finals. They were in Portland.
You're correct. I believe you're 100% correct. So. His was Richard Hamilton or Isaiah. Whose was yours, Tim? I had to go tinkle again.
I said Isaiah.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know how it could be anybody, in my view, but Isaiah.
It's Isaiah. That's yeah. Like knowing what I know now after the Bad Boys on, it's Isaiah. That's the go to the Pistons is Isaiah.
His performance in the 1988 NBA Finals
when he rolled his ankle and gave the Lakers the business. Yeah, 100%. And I quoted that from John Sally. I'll say that. That's what he said in that pod that 30 for 30. Whatever he did in that moment, just iconic. And the fact they didn't win that fucking series, it upsets me to this day.
I remember watching that series from start to finish because they toyed on the storyline that Isaiah and Magic Johnson were real life friends.
Yep, and then that's when it all went downhill. That series.
Yep. Isaiah was not going to lay down for anybody, and that game that demonstrated that. And you want to talk about moments in Pistons history? Game. 5 or 6 of the 88 finals. It must have been Game 6 of the 88 finals. That right there was a definitive statement that the Detroit Pistons were not to be fucked with
Mm-hmm.
because their best player on one wheel damn near beat the best in the world.
Yep.
And I knew, and we all talked about it as kids, that night that they lost to the Lakers, they're coming back in '89, and they're coming back and they're going to win because an Isaiah Thomas fully healthy is going to be unstoppable, and that's what
100%.
happened.
And I think like Scott was saying, like is a Isaiah or Joe Dumars or Richard Hamilton. The other Piston had to be was Ben Wallace. That was the one icon. Like he was just straight defense, just straight played his game, and that's the one iconic player from me growing up to see the Pistons hoist the trophy was Ben Wallace. That is one dude you did not mess with on the Pistons, and it might have to do with the Malice and the Palace too. That was just one dude you did not fuck with on that team. That dude he's only 6'9" and all that, but that dude was a fucking tank.
You know who will never be in this conversation is Grant Hill. Why? Because he played for the teal horse shit version of the.
Well,
Damn right.
I didn't mind that version, but
Blast to that one.
that was towards
for
the
you,
down,
Tim.
that was towards the downhill of the Pistons. That's when it just did not. Yeah.
Yeah, they did shitty because they were wearing the.
But also, there's the
bullshit
silent
uniform.
killer. So, like he said, Richard Hamilton. I like Tayshaun Prince more than Richard Hamilton. That dude was quiet and played his game, and he was phenomenal on defense and offense.
I really appreciated Rasheed Wallace and the.
Oh, dude, he was great too. He was great too.
To the team, yeah.
Like those
The whole
five
team.
guys, the go to work Pistons, they were something different, and they will always be in that conversation. Do I wish they could have repeated? Yes, we all do, but some things just don't happen. But I did just read an article. Tim Duncan did say in the 06 finals he was scared of the Detroit Pistons. He was
He had
legit
every right
scared.
to be.
Yeah, 100%. They were not a team to mess with, but. So we discovered we discussed three of the teams. Now we gotta get into the big one, the Lions.
Yeah. I mean, I could sit here and argue for so many names, and I know that I have plenty of Stafford jerseys hanging up on the wall here because Stafford's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. But
Mine's easy.
Growing up in my era and in any era, I mean, how can anybody argue the fact that the GOAT of the Lions is Barry Sanders? You cannot argue that fact at all. I mean, it's Barry fucking Sanders. He's the greatest running back of all time. So that's my pick right there.
Megatron. I watched that dude get drafted. I watched what he did his 9 years.
Jason's this fucking conversation. It's Barry fucking Sanders. Scott.
Yeah, no, you can't say that. I love Megatron, but no, you can't say that. It's Barry Sanders through and through until somebody wins the Lions the Super Bowl.
Now
that's a fair statement.
Now, if we were breaking down position wise, I'd have to say, it's either
It's Barry
if we were
Sanders.
talking
It's
wide
Barry
receiver, we'd either be toss up between Megatron or Herman Moore. To be honest, Herman Moore is more of my era when I grew up.
I can't say much. I have Barry Sanders jersey. I don't have Megatron's jersey, so
Yeah.
it is Barry Sanders.
Like Barry's the greatest fucking running back.
Jason Freezer, is he just fucking frozen? Yeah. Okay, we're good.
How crazy is to think that Gibbs is probably going to break Barry's record this year for the fastest, to a certain number of touchdowns.
20
before the age of 24.
Like,
he's insane. Yeah, he could be the. Yeah.
He has 44. Barry has 47, so he's not far
he's
from
breaking
it at all.
it. He's breaking it.
He's breaking it this year. Like, and it's fucking crazy thing. Gibbs is he's our next Barry Sanders. He's one hell of a draft pick, but still Barry Sanders and it is Barry. Just watching back Barry highlights is it's fucking mesmerizing because football was also a different game back then. It was a lot more smash mouth than what it is now. You know what I mean? It was tougher. I mean, just look at the motherfuckers and the pads that they wore.
Well, that was just
those guys were padded up to the fucking gills back then. Now everybody wears little pads to be faster. Shit. Barry just made everybody look like fools back then.
I remember I seen a documentary about, it was talking with Emmett Smith and all that, and he thought it was going to be Detroit and Dallas in the NFC Championship game for years on end, and then, Love the Fords, we just didn't fucking do anything with it, and we just fell off. He thought it was going to be him and Barry going at it every year, and it should have been. In that era, it should have been Barry and Emmett going at it no matter what. I bet you Barry would have played longer if they came closer to a Super Bowl or at least won a Super Bowl back then.
So we know, Jason, I'm gonna guess you're gonna say Barry Sanders too, because you got
we all said Barry Sanders.
Iconic moments. Like mine has to be just a couple years ago when they won the NFC North title, for the first time in so many fucking years since the 90s, and they beat the Rams to win that. And
that's up there. That's up there.
That to me right there, like, and the only reason why I say it's iconic because it kind of hit a nerve, because that was a year that my wife's cousin that I was really close with, that I used to go hunting with a lot and stuff like that, he had passed away at the beginning of the season, and I sat there and watched a few games with him at the beginning of the season, and we were talking about the Lions, they're going to be good this year and shit like that, and then all of a sudden they go off and they win that game to make it to the playoffs, or they win that playoff game. It was their first playoff win in since how many fucking years since the 90s.
93.
And
as long as I've been born.
That to me was the most iconic. Like, I'm a fucking big man, but yeah, it brought a tear to my eye because I just sat there and thought about fucking, like, I wish my Uncle Ryan was in shit here to. I wish my Uncle Ryan was here to see this. You know what I mean? Like all the family members. That's the one thing about growing up a Lions fan is like, we have so many family members that we grew up and we enjoy this, whether it's aunts, uncles, grandparents, parents, brothers, you know what I mean? Like we grew up watching this team with them, and finally to get to this point to where we win in that fashion. And like that to me was the moment that I went, fuck, that's my most iconic moment. And it wasn't even that spectacular. I mean, it was a QB kneel.
No, it was.
It was awesome, but it was a QB kneel. Like we won that game, you know what I mean? We got to end it with a QB kneel. But it was just the moment of going, I wish that, certain family members or friends that weren't here to see this were here to see this, like it was amazing. Like anybody else?
Scott, what's your iconic?
No, I agree with that. It was just waiting for so long to finally see that moment where they finally, even all the team, we made the playoffs here and there, couldn't win for nothing, but to finally win the division and go in and then win a playoff game. I mean, it was long overdue.
That's fair. Jason, what's yours?
For me, it was the complete drubbing of the Cowboys in 1992 in the divisional round.
Okay.
The way the Pontiac Silverdome was a very unique building in terms of the acoustics in there because of the way the dome filtered the sound. And at this time, the Cowboys were America's team. And that's all we fucking heard about. And the fact that they came into the Silverdome and the Detroit Lions completely dominated them on national television to advance to the NFC Championship game, although they would wind up getting their asses stomped by the Redskins eventually. But that game was, as a fan, that was such a definitive statement because everybody had picked the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl that year. And the fact that it was our Detroit Lions that stomped the shit out of them, that's what it is for me, because I put the Cowboys on the same pedestal as I do the New York Yankees and the Green Bay Packers as the teams I just cannot find myself ever rooting for. They're the evil empires of professional sports, and I don't know, that just, like, I will never forget that game. And as a kid back then, I can't, like, that was the happiest moment that I had ever been watching a professional football game.
Fair enough. I dig it.
Mine has to be December 22nd, 2012. No one knows that. That's when Calvin broke Jerry Rice's record.
I was just going to say, is that when Calvin broke Rice's record?
I remember I was in the Flint airport watching it, and I remember that slant across the middle, and as soon as he caught that ball, I wish I was there in Ford Field. I can only imagine how loud that place was. That place, I remember that. I remember him going out of bounds, going up to his dad, giving his dad the ball. That is the most iconic moment to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was such a Lions fan. You know, I'm still a great Lions fan. I love them to death. It was just seeing them have that great of players, having that team, and seeing Calvin. It was, you guys seen Barry play. You guys seen the great running back play. That's what I seen. I seen Calvin Johnson being, in my eyes, top 3 receivers in the NFL. Not win a Super Bowl and retire after 9 years. That's the iconic moment when he broke Jerry Rice's record, and so still no one after the games have been extended has broken that record or broke that record. That's the moment I remember vividly. It was just iconic. That's just something that will. Jerry Rice had it for what, 2 to 3 decades, pretty damn close. Then the one to do it was Calvin Johnson. That is my iconic moment.
I will throw another one out there that pretty iconic would be the day Matthew Stafford separated his shoulder and came back in and threw the touchdown
for the Browns. Yeah, that's fair. As a rookie,
it was actually a broken collarbone, wasn't it?
It was something major. I think it was. He fucked something up good, and
his shoulder.
And he's like, get the fuck off me, and gets up and literally goes and throws a touchdown with one arm. And it's like,
I see that clip all the time out there on the internet, and it's like, man, it never gets old to watch. It's like,
yeah, that's fair.
He's a tough son of a bitch. That's why he's like, if we broke down position by position, I think
another iconic moment to me is when we were playing Minnesota, went in overtime, and Golden Tate did a flip into the end zone to win it. That was an iconic moment too. Like, there's so many from this era coming up with the Detroit Lions because they've had so many close, like he said, like we made it to the playoffs, but we lost.
Yeah.
And finally we got past that fucking horse and won a playoff game, won quite a few. But it's like, I still wish, you know, and to me, when we got hosed with the Dallas Cowboys in fucking the playoffs, when Pettigrew didn't get that pass interference, when we should have got that. I remember fucking seeing the moment, but Stafford goes up. He's like, that's a bullshit call, and you know it. The official couldn't say it because he's doing his job, but you knew it was. To pick up the flag after throwing the flag. That's horseshit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they got robbed. But Detroit wasn't getting, like, there's still times where I feel like Detroit doesn't get any favor with the fucking.
We never do. It's Detroit versus everybody. It's a Detroit versus
it's
everybody.
Getting better. You know, the refs tend to favor better teams for whatever.
It's Detroit
reason.
versus everybody.
You know what I mean? So it's getting a little bit better. We still get some horseshit calls. We just almost had one last week with Brian Branch there at the end where they called pass interference on him that could have changed the outcome of the game. Just like the game of the Eagles, we had a pass interference call that probably shouldn't have been fucking called that changed the outcome of the game. Those calls always piss me off. Like it happens.
But Scott though, since you're a Michigan fan, what's your iconic football moment for Michigan?
For Michigan?
Yep.
Trying not to be recently biased over the 15-0. I mean,
if that's what sticks out to you. Mine is Mario Manningham against Penn State in overtime. That pass from Chad Henning in the back, that is what sticks out to me.
Yeah, pretty good one.
I don't know how you can pick anything from the year of the Natty. Like, they went fucking good. Yeah, Hutch
dominated everybody the year.
Hutch didn't win a Natty with them.
No, he lost, but the next year they won the Natty.
They lost. He left, and then 2 years later they won. He left in 2021.
I thought it was 2022.
Nope.
I'm old. I've been drinking.
Oh, what's your iconic moment, Scott? I need to hear it.
Man.
If I had to say, it probably had to be the Alabama game.
I mean, well, yeah.
That was the national championship. That when they won that in overtime, that was national. That was the national championship then.
Just blowing out Ohio State in 2021 after all the years of losing.
That is very true too. That is a very good one.
I mean,
if I had to say, Denard Robinson beating Ohio State shoelaces.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Scott, we got into a conversation a week or two ago about Michigan venues and those who have which have been torn down, replaced, or what
Hmm.
have you. We mentioned the Palace, we mentioned Tiger Stadium, the Silver
Joe
Dome,
Lewis.
Joe Louis Arena, the Olympia. Is there one of those iconic venues that have been torn down? If you could bring one back, which one would it be?
I mean, for me the Palace, because I know why he did it, but it was a perfectly great building. I mean, the concerts there were amazing. I mean, not to mention being local, was
Yeah,
always a plus. The acoustics in there were awesome. The crowd was noise, and like I remember going to the Pistons games when they made that second run in the early 2000s, and the atmosphere was insane. I mean, there was no reason to get rid of that building for me. I mean, I have memories of Ford Field or going, to the Silverdome. First place I saw Tom Brady play. When he came in as backup on Thanksgiving. But for
damn.
me, you know, when they pulled Drew Bledsoe, his first time he played, when they pulled Drew Bledsoe and put Tom Brady in the game on Thanksgiving,
Wow.
But for me, it's the Palace.
Okay.
That seems to be the sentiment across the board. For me, it was the Silver Dome, just because of yeah. Look, my fandom goes beyond what the Lions did in there, what the Pistons did in there. But the Silver Dome was the site of one of my favorite moments as a wrestling fan.
Right.
90,000 people in there watching Hulk Hogan body slam and defeat Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. That when they decide that they weren't going to fix the Silverdome when the roof went down, I'm like, oh man, I see where this is heading, and I was really hoping that somebody was going to go in there, renovate it, fix it up, and utilize it in some capacity. Obviously we know that that's not the case because that site now houses an Amazon warehouse. But for
Of
me,
course. Well, they
it was
stopped caring about that place the second the Lions moved out. I remember going to a concert there towards the end, and they didn't even have air in the building anymore at that point.
right.
It was like 100 degrees, 4th of July, unbearable. And I'm like, this is sad.
Hell yeah.
Metallica, unbearable. And just maybe that's why I just don't miss the Silverdome, because that last memory just kind of killed it for me.
No, and I can understand and appreciate that. My very first concert that I ever went to was at the Silverdome, and it was in February of '87, just a couple of months before
Was it Wham?
WrestleMania was in there. Huh?
Was it Wham?
So I'll say, I'll side note, Jason. I will say, I remember
No,
growing
Tim.
up. I remember growing up, and distinctly my mom saying
Bam.
Hulk Hogan made wrestling when he dropped the Giant and all that. And I did not know that was at the Silverdome.
Mm-hmm.
I remember them. I remember her bringing it up and all that. And I seen videos after that. I did not know it was in the Silverdome.
Yeah, I still got newspaper clippings from that day,
I
from
believe it.
the Free Press, the Detroit News, the Oakland Press, um, the Flint Journal. Like it was. I mean, it was such a huge deal, because they set the world indoor attendance record that night
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
fucking wrestling show.
yeah.
Um, it wouldn't be broken again until, I mean, for the Silverdome, the Pope, John Paul II, well, of all places in the world, he made an appearance at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan.
Wow.
That drew a few hundred more people in there over
Yeah, I
WrestleMania.
could imagine. Holy crap.
But when we can lay claim from a wrestling standpoint that our state hosted the biggest professional wrestling show of all time, like I hung my flag on that hat for a long time.
I don't
There
blame you.
was
That's huge.
it would stay that way until WrestleMania 32, which was in Arlington,
Okay.
AT&T Stadium. I mean, they got 101,000 in there for
Okay.
that, but it took
Makes
something
sense.
like that to break the WrestleMania 3 record.
That makes
So
sense.
So back to your statement, what was the concert that you went to? Because apparently it wasn't Wham.
it was not Wham. No, it was it was the Monkeys, Herman's Hermits, and the Grassroots.
Oh, I mean, Wham might have been better.
Fuck off. No.
You gonna drink that beer? Or you gonna let it get warm?
No, it's almost gone, dude.
Are you get you another one?
No, I'm good. I gotta behave.
I'll get you another one.
I've
This
said
is
that-
number 9. Stop being a bitch.
I am a bitch.
We already knew that.
I'll admit to that. Mine, I've said this a million times, it's the Palace. Let alone, I mean, Scott brought it up, the acoustics in that place, to go see concerts at that place. There was no place like going to see, concerts at than the Palace. The acoustics were absolutely fucking phenomenal. Every time we went there, like it sounded like record quality fucking, I should say CD because that's my age. Like it sounded like you were listening on a CD. Like the sound was amazing. But it goes back to my childhood. Like the first time I got to go see a Pistons game at the Palace, I got to go see the Bulls versus the Pistons. And this is back in the era. Like I got to see Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. It was 96, you know what I mean? It was a hell of a year to see the Pistons play. Obviously they had Grant Hill at the time. But the Bulls just mopped up on the Pistons that day, and like I said, I was a Bulls fan, so I got to go see Michael Jordan play live. So that'll always be the most iconic place for me, and it was sad to see it go. And I wish it was still there because it'd be so nice just to cruise, 25 minutes up the road to go to see a fucking Pistons game or go to a concert. I mean, we still have fucking Pine Knob that we can go see concerts, but I mean the acoustics aren't anywhere near as good as what the Palace was. And LCA, I've been to concerts there, and LCA the acoustic sucks for concerts. Like I went and seen Elton John there, and he sounded good, but he would have sounded much better at the Palace.
Now, Scott is very much into the music scene, has gone to I couldn't even begin to imagine how many concerts he's been to. Scott, I'll ask you this. We'll make the transition real quick. Of all the shows that you've seen, all the bands that you have come in contact with, I know, you're a big supporter of Saving Abel, and I've followed you guys for quite a while. But I also know,
I'm not gonna drink.
you've been to a lot of different venues.
I already got 3 more, dude. You're drinking it.
Limit.
There's no limit when you don't have to work tomorrow. People in the comments, tell Jim to drink his other beer so he won't be a little bitch.
Is there one band like that, like one show that stands out as this was the greatest concert event I've ever been to?
I've only been to one concert at
I
the
mean,
Palace, and I don't really
almost
want to
any time I
admit who it
see
was.
Shinedown, I feel that way these days, honestly.
Shinedown?
Shinedown, every show is different. Every show is amazing. They put so much work into their production. It's just like it's like the one band that you can actually go see even like multiple times on a tour, and you'll never see the same show because they mix, they have certain songs that they play, they have like a chorus out of 10, but they mix just as many songs up every night as they have the same song. So, I mean, you could literally go see a different show, go follow them and see a different show every night if you wanted to. So you never really know, even this day and age of, where you can look up set lists and see everything, you still don't know when you go to a Shinedown show. And just the work that they put into their production is just amazing.
I totally appreciate that. I can totally appreciate that. My favorite artist gets ridiculed for quite a bit.
It's Wham, we know.
It's not
No, it's
fucking
not
Wham.
It's even worse.
Oh, God.
Tim? It's no.
Clap from it.
Who is
Where's
it?
my boo button? Where's my boo button? I
Is it
don't
this
even
one?
have a boo button.
I got it. I first try too. So who's your favorite artist? Jason Klaus.
The Dave Matthews Band.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it was even worse.
It was not. You can't say that because you haven't gone, Tim.
I have not gone. But I
You
can
should.
say out of all, because I've been to a ton of concerts myself personally. I think the most iconic concert I've ever been to, I did buy Amy tickets to see Elton John at his Yellow Brick Road tour, one of his final shows in Detroit here, and that was fucking a phenomenal show. The best sounding concert I ever been to was Kings of Leon at the Palace. Kings of Leon put on a hell of a show. But I think the coolest one that I ever went to
Pardon
was
me.
Megadeth. Megadeth was fucking phenomenal. A lot of fun. And like I've been to so many. I mean, I've seen Foreigner live. I mean, you can go down a list. When I used to work at Speedway, I used to get free tickets all the time to go to the Pine Knob to go see fucking concerts all the time. So like I went to Sounds of the Underground so many fucking years in a row with free tickets. And that was fucking amazing. Like I've bet so many, but like I don't know. I think one of the funnest in the early days, one of the funnest concerts I ever went to, who always put on a hell of a show. And I went and seen him a couple years ago, and you could definitely tell he was getting older. But in his early days, Kid Rock used to put on one hell of a fucking show. Like he was a lot of fun to watch. And now, like when I went a couple years ago, not as fun. But I just went a couple years ago and saw Five Finger Death Punch with Breaking Benjamin.
Five Finger Donkey Punch? Hell yeah.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Donkey Punch.
They had Breaking Benjamin open up for him, and Breaking Benjamin was fucking amazing. Like I think they stole that show that night. Like,
Breaking Benjamin is amazing. Yeah, they're amazing. I just saw them out in tour with Stained.
Yeah, that'd been one hell of a concert right there.
My buddy does merch for Stained, so I got to go catch that show. They put on an awesome show.
Yeah, like I was totally blown away by Breaking Benjamin that year. Like
there's two for
stole
me.
the show.
There's two for me. There's one my favorite rock band I seen. You guys probably never heard of them. A Day to Remember.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Yo, God, they had sex dolls in the crowd, a giant beach ball, toilet paper. I crowd surfed. I'm a 200-pound man. I crowd surfed like multiple times. It was a great time. It was phenomenal. But then I went to Faster Horses of 2021 after they opened back up after COVID. Luke Combs killed it. It was raining. Best show of my life. He murdered it.
Do you know? And I don't know.
It might have been because I was drinking since 11 a.m. that day because it was my birthday. But
Probably
yeah,
what it was.
Yeah, it probably was.
Scott, have you ever been to a Guar show?
I've seen them. I've not seen a full show. I have seen them. They were at a festival I was at, and they played a small set. So I've seen them before. They're quite interesting characters.
Yeah,
They're up there with Avatar.
I've never been a huge fan of their music, but being in the pit at a Guar show is fucking insane. Like I've been to two of their shows. One of them was a show down in Detroit, and the other one was at a Sounds of the Underground, and fucking just absolutely insane. Like Guar, like they put on one hell of a fucking stage show.
You know who I heard put on a great show? I think we should go see.
Who?
It's fucking Wham.
Oh yeah, I would be totally down with Wham. One of Jason's favorite bands.
I think it's his favorite band. Better than Dave
I think
Matthews.
you guys need to suck a dick, if I can be honest with you.
Give me one to suck.
You see, you can't do Wham because George Michael's no longer with us.
That's fair. We can't do it. We got to do the original Wham.
So we got to find a Wham tribute band.
No, we
Oh,
don't.
God. I'm not going to do that. No.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Yeah,
know.
tribute bands
Scared
are
too.
not interested. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your effort, because I promise you, I will not go. I promise you, it will be all for nothing.
Fair
and the
enough.
reason why, and I got asked this the other day because this got mentioned on the 80s podcast. What is my disdain for Wham? And I'll tell you where it stems from. That fucking Last Christmas song.
Oh, we just heard it on the radio the other day.
I'm sorry that you
Jamming
were
out to it.
subjected to that.
No, it was
But-
amazing.
A few years back, well, it's been more than a few years, but at a Christmas Clash show that we did, Christian Clayton and I were the tag team champions going into the match with the titles, and he thought it would be funny, and I was not aware of this, but he got with our sound guy, and they started to play our regular music, and halfway down the aisle, our music stopped and Last Christmas started on our way to the ring. Not only did I wind up going off script and cost us the match and subsequently the titles, I beat the shit out of that dude after the match was over. And I mean, it ultimately worked itself out. But like, I was so pissed at that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna do this in this environment right now? And like everybody backstage was just busting up laughing. I don't think I talked to another motherfucker the rest of the night. Like I was low key pissed. I was like, you don't change my walkout music for one, and two, it certainly ain't gonna be to this piece of shit. I was not happy. Not happy
Dude,
at all.
I could feel you there. There was one time when I was up in Alpena and me and Jeff were working a match and we were the heels. And for some reason, like they didn't want it's the bad guys. It's good.
Okay.
They didn't like our entrance music at this point. So we're the heels and they sent us out there to save a horse, ride a cowboy. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, how are we supposed to react to this shit? Like what the fuck? Like, this doesn't fit the fucking demeanor at all. We're supposed to be the bad guys and you got us fucking pumping out here to save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm like,
Game Brokeback Mountain and that bitch.
yeah, it kind of felt like it.
You ever watch that movie?
No.
It's really weird.
I believe it.
It's really weird.
I believe that you watched it too.
No, because I just kind of got forced to watch it.
I'm sure.
What I seen is
to watch it while you're sitting in your room by yourself.
That definitely wasn't. It's like the two dudes start fighting and beating the shit out of each other. Next thing they start having butt sex. It's really weird. It's really fucking weird. I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it. You start fighting each other. You're like, oh, hey, bend over. I'm going to butt fuck you. That's how it went.
This podcast might be going off the rails, bro.
It's already been off the rails. It's already been. I'm like, that's a weird way to just get intimate with another man. Whatever. Do your thing, dude. Like, that's what gets you off. Do your thing.
Good grief.
How do we just turn that into
because you brought up
Eric going off about butt sex once again?
And shit happens,
and
brother.
that just goes right to that fucking video I sent you earlier, Jason.
I only got 3 beers
this
left.
Guy is suspect as fuck right now.
Hey, yeah, you already knew that. You
Scott, if you saw this video, send that video to Scott. I'm sure you got his number.
Send it. It was a great video.
You can see the fucking video. You can see the real Eric.
You know what? Hey, it made Jason laugh and it made you laugh. That's all that matters.
Oh, I was fucking dying.
Exactly.
Oh my god, it was something.
It was.
That's the hot takes I get for TikTok footage.
But do you want to get into the point where we go deeper in ourselves and who we are? Because you brought that up.
Oh, I did bring that up, but I don't know if we're not there anymore.
Want to get in your feelings, you weirdo?
Yes, I am a Sagittarius. No, I'm not actually at all. But no, like I brought up the point, like, because we've never actually discussed, our backgrounds, you know what I mean, and who we actually, are.
Pause. Scott, what's Michigan winning by?
24.
Okay, hell yeah. Okay, continue.
53-29.
Hell yeah.
They're destroying Gonzaga.
I think they have a good chance to make a deep run in that fucking bracket.
They're about, and this is like the championship, so they're about to be $1 million richer.
That's true. Okay.
Okay, Jason's like all intimate with his phone right now.
He's looking up the Sky scene for Brokeback Mountain.
No. Well, first of all, I went on here to send Scott the video.
I heard that. I heard it.
And then I realized I had a couple of text messages on.
It's a good video, man. It's a good video. Made everyone laugh.
Scott, did you just witness the video?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that's the shit I had to come back down to on my phone as we were trying to record
the Glug
TikToks.
3000, brother.
So, anyways, we were talking about our backgrounds of who we are and stuff like that because we've never actually formally introduced ourselves. I know Jason has brought up countless times points, that we're both former, professional wrestlers from, the Michigan independent circuit. That I am. I went by Tommy Klein. I wrestled for about 16 years. That's actually how I met Jason. I worked for him. I mean, it's coming up on fucking, 18 years ago, the first time I met you, Jason. Like, it's been a
Yeah.
long fucking time when I came to work for you. And I was in, the Michigan Indies at that point for at least 7 years, because I started training when I was 16. I had my first pro match when I was 17, and I kind of worked for quite a few years. Had a little bit of time off, and then Levi Blue actually got a hold of us. Was like, "Hey, come out, check out this promotion over here." To work for the MWO. I didn't know much about you guys. Thank God that I did, because all these years fucking later, we're back working together. But yeah, I went and worked for Jason for a few years, and then I kind of left and went and worked a bunch of other places. Came back for a very short stint. Finished up at a bunch of other places and stuff like that. But yeah, I was worked the Michigan independent circuit for it was like 17 years or shit like that. I went by Tommy Klein. You can still find my Facebook there. I haven't done shit in the wrestling world since about 2016. Background other than that, I'm a mechanic by trade. The only coaching experience I have is of roller derby. If you go back in the PFC Entertainment Network archives, you can find the real podcast and go through the whole Derby days. That was actually a pretty intense fucking. I think it was a 5-part podcast that me and Amy went through,
5 or
because Amy,
6, yeah.
yeah, like it was pretty intense. But yeah, I got into as an assistant coach for a roller derby team in the state of Michigan. Other than that, I love fucking sports. I love football. Football is my main thing, and I also love golf. I can't wait to get back into golf this year. But that's pretty much my background. Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I I got involved in the wrestling business because I was a lifelong fan. And when I graduated high school, I went down to Ohio thinking that I was on my way to the WWF, or now WWE now, and getting involved in with some training down there. I wound up getting hurt and subsequently bullied out of it, and came back home, started my own promotion from literally nothing other than What If. And myself, Jason Cloyd, and the Marauder Todd Grossbauer decided that we were going to try our hands in starting a new promotion. And I did that for 28 years. I ran the Michigan Wrestling Organization as a promoter, as a performer of 3 different characters, 2 in ring, 1 out of. Um, and I'll be straight up. Once I lost my brother in 2020, like my heart just wasn't in it anymore. Um, but at that time, I was starting to dive into podcasting and just had launched the flagship show. And now I've taken what I've learned in the wrestling business and incorporated it into the podcasting business, and now we're got a full blown network going on with 5 different shows. And but Tim, you can you can appreciate this. You can take us out of the game, but you can't take the game out of us in terms of being a performer. I think that's why I appreciate podcasting so much, because I still get to be a performer in some sense, but it doesn't take nearly the toll on our bodies physically as what wrestling did. It's a
Thank God.
more of a mental thing at this
Yeah.
point. Um, but yeah, my thing was I was going to provide opportunity for guys and gals to explore their dreams in pro wrestling, and it changed my life, and I met some amazing people during the course of those years. You and Amy being part of it. Actually, that's how I met Scott too. Indirectly was through wrestling. He and his wife would come watch our shows, and he was taking pictures for us, and things of that nature. So it's crazy how something like that can put you on a path that takes you down these different roads and scenarios. And, like you said, here we are 17, 18 years after the fact, after first meeting you guys. And your story of how you came to MWO and mine are different based on the perspective.
Yeah.
Because it was Kirk Collins that had come to me and said, "Hey, I've got a group of guys that are looking to knock the ring rust off, and they need a place to practice for a little bit before they go back to the indie scene." And I was like, "Oh, okay, but, not a problem." And here you guys, you, Jim, Kevin, um,
Forget
Jeff,
Jeff. Yeah.
yeah, and you guys came in as a group, as an invasion group, and it worked out perfectly. And you and Jeff and Kurt would wind up going off and doing your own thing. Jim and Kevin, they remained a little bit longer. Jim up until the very end. Um, so it was a blessing, and it's just goes to show how something, an industry that gets talked shit a lot about in real life, man, like that forms some very tight bonds. But it's not on the level where every single person you come in contact with, like those are people you're going to know for the rest of your life. I think since closing the MWO, there's less than a handful of people that I correspond with on the regular since getting out of the wrestling business. You being one of them. So it's crazy, but I'm so appreciative of those that I have maintained some degree of friendship or some relationship with. So
And it's kind of funny when you bring that up when you talk about like, when you're in that business, you know a lot of people, you're close with a lot of people, but as soon as you're out of it, it's like those people kind of dwindle out. Like you and I, we hadn't been in contact for quite a few years in between the time that like I was done with MWO and off doing my own thing and stuff like that. But something just brought us back together, and it kind of, obviously it was Amy at this point because you had contacted Amy first, and you guys started the Real podcast and started that whole thing. You know what I mean? And that kind of transitioned into us, talking, and we started talking about doing something together. And I'm like, well, I enjoy talking about sports, like. All I do is fucking watch football. You know what I mean? That's what kind of spawned it, was like my love for football and wanting to like just get together. And I kind of always view this show as like a couple of buddies, when you're at work and you're talking shit with your buddies about sports and stuff like that. That's kind of like what this show is. You know what I mean? Like we get together, we talk shit about sports. Do we know everything about sports? No. You know what I mean? And we're not on to. Like, do we spend a lot of time watching sports now to try to sound as informative as we can? Sure. You know what I mean? But when we first started out, it was, we just like to fucking talk about sports, and it was another aspect to add to the network because you didn't have that sports aspect. Obviously, you had the Real podcast, you had Close to the Heart, and there was a few other shows in between at that time. But you're trying to build this network up, and it's like, how can we add another piece to this network? And then I can get involved because I really enjoyed the times, like when I was on the Real podcast, or I joined. I think at the time it was the Pro Wrestling Rewind. You know what I mean? Because at the time I was really like. I was part of wrestling. I grew up watching wrestling, obviously a huge wrestling fan. That's why I got into wrestling. But I don't watch as much wrestling now because like when I watch too much, it gives me the itch. And obviously now I'm in fucking better shape now than I've been in years. And I'm lighter than I was in fucking high school. So like, it's like, could I go do it? Possibly. But if I start watching it, I'm going to want to go do it, and I shouldn't do it because I'm actually feeling good. And I don't want my body to be shit anymore because obviously it beats the shit out of you. So I try to stay away from that. But yeah, it's crazy how the roads lead to us kind of mixing it back up after all these years. I mean, in a different aspect. And you talked about you can't take the entertainer out of us. This is another avenue of entertaining. And it goes to a point where a guy at work the other day was like, I saw your TikTok. He's like, you're a really good talker. And it's like, well, I wrestled for fucking 17 years. Like, we got to cut promos. You know what I mean? Like, I could talk, like
Right.
just put me in front of a camera and I can entertain people. Like, that's what I did. You know what I mean? Like, so
Debatable.
Well, whatever. Like, you know, man, you get too many drinks in me, and maybe it takes 2 or 3 fucking cuts.
That's why that beer's had a fucking nipple on it all night. You're just sipping on it.
No, because fucking 2 Fridays.
Guess how many beers I'm down, bitch? Fucking this is number 10. This is number 10.
I can't drink as much as I used to, and I'm starting to figure that out. 2 weeks ago.
Oh, he's fucking
2 weeks ago on a Friday night, I will be the first to admit, like, I was fucking, me and him were down here recording TikToks, and I was puking that night because I drank too fucking much.
You drank whiskey. That's why, you little bitch. You can't handle your whiskey. You can handle your beer.
I can't handle alcohol anymore now. I'm only fucking 230 pounds now, fucker.
I'm lighter than you, and I can handle it. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? I can handle it.
I don't have the fucking skills anymore, okay? I'm old. But back to the
I'm
point.
happy I know where that button's at.
Okay, so you kind of got a little background on me and Jason. Eric, I know you've been down the road. You played a little football, probably in high school.
Played some football. I played some sports.
You coached a little bit too.
I did coach. I did coach some high school football for Clio. You know, football's always been my passion. I think what made it for me is when I remember just watching Sundays as being a young kid, just watching it with my dad. I remember, I remember the vague memory of my dad. I remember is, being a little, I was probably 5 or 6, had his little foam ball guns he'd shoot me with and all that. I'd run through the living room. He's literally laying on the couch watching lines and he's just shooting me with them as I ran by. That is one of the best memories I have as just being a kid, watching lines, messing around with my dad and all that. So yeah, football is a lot of my passion. So yeah, early on I paid a lot of attention to the lines. So it's like, I remember first job was at a golf course. I remember all the older guys like, oh yeah, the lines haven't let you down yet. You'll get there. And I'm like, it kind of got to that point because I'm like, all that whole era of Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford, I'm like, they were right there on the edge, but they can never get past it. So yeah, it's like, that's my passion. So like, it's still football. I coach football. I coach defensive line. It's still something I'm so passionate about. It's something. It's like looking at the guy across from you, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be better than you. I'm gonna put your ass in the dirt, and I'm gonna be the bigger man right now." It's that. It's just the competitiveness in me. So yeah, a little bit older I got. I took up pool. I love playing pool. Love it. It's still. It's competitive, but it's a more of a mental game. How can you win in certain situations? It's chess. It's not checkers. So yeah, I'm very competitive in a lot of things. I coach football, love it to death. Baseball, I honestly wish I would have played baseball in high school and hockey in high school. But things didn't work out. But I'm a big sports guy. Love it. I have no problem. I love watching 30 for 30s. My favorite 30 for 30 is probably Bo. That is probably my favorite 30 for 30.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Watch it. It's about Bojack. It's just how he was, and it's just like he is, in my opinion, probably the greatest athlete that could have been. If he did not get hurt on that one fluke tackle, could have been the best running back in the NFL and probably one of the best players in the MLB. He was a true one that could do both. You had Deion Sanders that could do both, but he couldn't do both like Bo. Bo Jackson was just a different animal. So yeah, I get excited about that stuff. The bad boys and all that. It's just sports brings people together. And I love that. I love it. So it's just like that's what I'm passionate about. I love the camaraderie. I love the rival. I love everything about it. Like it's rival week, and like I think of Michigan, Ohio State. I think of all the iconic moments. Like the one I could think of the most is back in 06 when Michigan was number 2 and Ohio State was number 1. Granted, we lost, but it was such a hyped game because it was something that's never happened before in both the schools' programs, that we were number 1 and number 2. Granted, we didn't come out on top, but also I came from a school where Jake Long was drafted number 1 to the Miami Dolphins, left tackle. He went to my high school. I remember that. I was there for that. There was posters. I remember seeing him in the weight room put probably 7 or 8 plates of 45s on it, bending the bar, benching it like it was nothing. Like that's what just sticks in my head. Is sports is such, it brings people together. It's great. It's a great thing that can It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I can't like you just like we talked about all the iconic moments, our goats and all that. It's something that we can all relate on and have a great conversation about. That's what I like about it. That's what I love about it, honestly.
I really appreciate that. I
Besides
really
Tim
do.
saying "Go Ohio," I want to smack the fuck out of him every time he says it, but I just don't.
I just every time you say that, I just go back to you.
I
and
know,
your
but
love
I'm
for
like,
Brokeback Mountain.
you lost a lot of weight, but I'm like, you're still could probably beat the shit out of me. So I just let it go. I let you have your moment.
I just go back to you and your love for Brokeback Mountain.
Hey, it's not a love. It's a weird scene. It's a weird scene. This is a great show.
It is.
Scott, did you play football or anything when you were in school?
I played baseball.
Okay.
Football was the big thing when I was in school, when I was in high school, because we had Drew Henson. I went to Brighton.
Okay.
Drew Henson was the big thing, when I was in school. And Dave Pearson, he played a little bit for the Lions as well. So that was the big thing. But I did baseball in high school. Not a lot after that. I mean, kind of how I met you, doing photography. I kind of took more of that route after, especially once the kids started getting into sports, with my daughter and, the cost of photography, getting pictures, was insane. So I started learning that. And then, I started doing that for her and I enjoyed it. So then I started doing it, that's when I met, Jeff, and I started doing it for wrestling events. Then I got really big into indoor football. In Michigan, we had a bunch of teams for a while. I was doing photography, met a lot of people through that. And then, of course, music, doing photos there. So that really opened up my avenues to a lot of people that I've met is, doing photography for a long time, until COVID. And then I kind of stopped doing it after that. But
What a weird time that was, wasn't it? The whole
Yeah.
COVID thing.
We can get back you in we can get you back into photography when we go see a Wham concert.
a Wham concert.
Wham tribute band.
There-
We can't.
I
Yep,
have
yeah,
someone
right.
actually. So there's going to
Call
be
me Dave. I'm just getting Jason's.
There's a indoor football team going in Saginaw, and they're
Really?
trying to convince me to get back into photography. So we'll see.
Really? Okay. We had the Michigan Panthers leave us, but yeah, if that's coming up, you should definitely get into that.
Yeah, no, they're
What about the Flint Firebirds? You ever get into that?
no, I haven't really got into that much. It was football for me. Like
Okay, that's
we
fair.
had this it was for a while, and it kind of died for like 10, 15 years ago. There were a whole league in this whole Midwest of indoor football. There was a team in Port Huron, team in Saginaw, team in Taylor.
Okay.
But it's hard to stabilize in the indoor league. So the owners would constantly change. So it got to a point where we just made a shtick about it, and we all bought ref shirts.
Okay.
And we ended up becoming friends with so many people in the league because they just thought it was so entertaining. We would just go and wear ref shirts every week because we got tired of all the different changes. And we ended up doing a lot of traveling, met a lot of people that there were a lot of people, former pros that were playing in that league at one point. Juice Williams was playing in that league. I saw Jared Lorenzen, the last game that he played, not actually the last game of football that he ended up playing. So that's kind of how, I got it, stayed involved in sports and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a new team going in Saginaw, and sounds pretty legit. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
So I got a question for you, Jason. We talked about our past and all that. What was one sport you wish you could have played in high school, or wish you would have played in high school?
Eric, I wasn't what we would call a naturally talented athlete.
Okay, that doesn't matter. What do you wish you could have played?
From a popularity standpoint, it probably would have been football because you went to Lapeer.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you went to Lapeer East.
Yep.
I went to Lapeer West.
Oh,
And
wow. I did not know there was a rival in this. Holy shit. Okay. Okay.
and you want to talk about sports rivalries, like on that level, man, the East
That
West
was
rivalry.
shut down the fucking town.
Yeah,
That's what that was.
yeah, 100%. And anybody that was on the football team was treated like royalty. Um, I just that was never my thing. I was discouraged actually from even trying out because I wasn't cool enough to try out.
Okay.
Um, but I've always had a love for baseball. So
Okay.
if I had to pick just based on what I wanted to play for my school, it would have been baseball for sure.
I could see that 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
people would assume, well, you should have gone out for the wrestling team. Well, I wasn't interested in that kind of wrestling.
No, no.
I was
That's a
interested
different
in
wrestling.
that kind of wrestling.
Yeah. No, but for your love of baseball, I could see that 100%. 100%.
That was
Yeah.
my downfall too, because when I was in high school, the
Tim, no
football
one asked you.
coach
No one asked you yet. Shut up.
really wanted me to play football. I wish I would have stuck it out with baseball, and I wish I would have played football also. But I was so interested in wrestling at that point in time. That's why I started training when I was 16. So the coach told
Dude,
me,
you'd have
he's
been
like,
you'd have been a fucking monster on the offensive line.
yeah, the coach told me like, hey, I want you to play football because I was pretty athletic at that point in time in my life, and I was a bigger kid. I mean, in high school there, I was like 290, 6'2", and but he wanted me to give up wrestling, and I'm like, there's no fucking hope with that. And I'm like, maybe things would have been a little bit different if I would have gave up wrestling and went that way. But I still wouldn't trade any of my wrestling history because it wouldn't lead us where we are today. You know what I mean? So like a lot of years of wrestling, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I hurt every day because of it.
No, I can respect that for sure. I feel pretty good in terms of, and I just had a conversation with Samantha about this. Um, we talk to alumni or former wrestlers, and they're walking around hunched over with a limp. They can't move their arms or shoulders the way they once could. From the wear and tear that we put our bodies through in the ring, because our bodies are not made to voluntarily fall or take absorbent amounts of punishment. That's just not what we're built for. But wrestlers are a different breed because we wind up callousing our bodies to just absorb the blows, right? I'm, at this stage, at 49 years old, man, and having wrestled for 30 years almost, I feel pretty good by and large.
So I have a question for you, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a gentleman named Tim Bradley?
Yes.
Okay. I know him very well for coaching golf at Lapeer Country Club because he loved Lapeer West and all that. Now I know you went to West. Now there's more of a rival in the Sports Reel podcast. Because I'm like, damn, that hits a little bit of home because me and him can relate. That Lapeer East and West week was, if I had to guess, it's like Michigan, Ohio State. It was, you shut down the town. Like that is just it's a different animal. Like it was Crosstown rivals. It was something different. But I do have a question for you. Mm-hmm. All those years of having two separate schools, if they just combined with one, how many state championships would that school have for sports?
Quite a few.
Oh, it would have been nuts. It would have been nuts.
More than the one West won in 95, which pissed me off.
It would have been multiple. Me and my buddy talked about if our schools were combined when we went to school, our football team probably could have won back-to-back state championships. Like it is like the amount of athletes that are in Lapeer is nuts. We just don't get a recognition because we were separated schools.
Right.
When I went to school, Lapeer West had the offensive linemen. They had 6'3", 6'4" offensive linemen. Lapeer East had all the wide receivers, running backs. Like if you would have put all them together, multiple championships, multiple. And side note, Elmont just won the Division 6 state championship for football.
Oh wow.
They just won that state championship in Division 6. So hats off to Elmont. You know, that's a small school, and for them to go that far and that deep, congrats.
What year did you graduate?
11.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah. When you said 49, I'm like, man, he probably graduated what, 19?
He's in the 90s because I'm
94.
40.
94. So I was 1 year old. I was a year old.
I graduated in 02.
Yep. Yeah. So that is crazy that you went to Lapeer West. I did not know that.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so he completely understands that crosstown rival. It was as soon as you knew you were playing them any week or that day, like it was nuts.
Every day was Spirit Week.
Exactly.
That was Spirit Week for us. It wasn't homecoming. Nobody gave a fuck about homecoming.
No.
It was the East-West week. And
Oh yeah. It meant everything.
Yeah.
It was 365 days of bragging rights, period. That's what it was.
I don't get any of it in the Lapeer side because by the time my oldest made it to high school, there was just one high school. But I understand the crosstown rival because you brought up Port Huron having the indoor football league. I actually graduated from Port Huron High School in 2002, and it was Port Huron High School versus Port Huron Northern. Like that was the crosstown rival, and it was just as big as that. You know what I mean? It was a massive thing every year. So I understand that. Well, boys, we're getting close to the. Oh, go ahead.
Scott, you went to Brighton, you said?
Yeah.
So was your big rival Howell?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Brighton and Howell was a bloodbath every year. Still is.
I used to have a job where a lot of my jobs. Well, I cleaned carpet for Modernistic, and they did the majority of their work in Livingston County. So I'm very familiar with the proximity of where Brighton is, Howell, Pinckney. So I was wondering who would have been Brighton's big rival.
Yeah, it's Brighton. Yeah, it's always Brighton Howell. Howell's. Okay. I mean, it was a little more one-sided when I went to school. Howell's definitely stepped up, and they're on the same level, if not maybe slightly better right now than Brighton's been the last couple of years.
The Brighton Bulldogs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
At least that's a cool fucking name. Eagles. I hate dumb sports names.
Yeah, but unfortunately they have the same fight song.
Pelicans are fucking awesome.
Trash team from Ohio, so.
Oh, gross.
I know. Hated it.
Gross.
Every time I hear that fight song, I just cringe.
Let's put it this way, Jason. My senior year, we beat West 43-6 in football, so that's all I'm happy about.
All right, boys. I don't know about all of you guys. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. My ass is pretty tired. I've been up since 6 a.m. this morning. Jason had to work last night. He probably napped all day long, and he's up to be up all night long.
Yeah, I'm going to be up. But Scott has a big football game he's going to be at tomorrow.
7 a.m.'s coming early.
Yeah.
And this game is way over. It's 87-43 now.
Holy sh!
Yeah, that game's over.
And Gonzaga's ranked. Michigan might be ranked number 1 come Monday morning.
I don't know about that, but they're definitely going to be top 5.
Well, I mean, they're ranked 7th. And they are on the way. They're about to blow out 3 teams in 3 days, all ranked by 100 points combined.
That is fair.
They could be number 1 come Monday.
Okay.
I mean, including Auburn last night, who knocked them out of the tournament last year, and they beat them by 40 last night. So
that is true.
I mean, this
definitely keep an eye on Michigan this year for the end of that.
This team
tournament
is insane. Never seen a Gonzaga team get beat this bad in my life.
Yeah, that is very true. Gonzaga is definitely known for their basketball, and they're getting blown the fuck out by Michigan. So that's nice to hear. Tim, you're a bitch like usual.
Always. I was born that way.
Well, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody who tuned in here for a very special impromptu bonus edition of the show. Tune in to our regular show this coming Tuesday, beginning at 6 p.m.
Hold on.
this week.
You're jumping ahead. You guys are going live Saturday.
Oh, I know. I'm not. I didn't put the bow on it yet.
Oh, okay.
Why would you interrupt a man when he's in the middle?
I just fucked up the whole outro.
You did.
Damn it.
You did.
I'm going to shut my mic off.
You should. Good. We're good.
Bitch.
He is. He is. Continue, Jason.
Totally kidding, Tim. Yeah, tune into our regular show on Tuesday, the Sports Reel podcast here on the PFC Entertainment Network. But this Saturday, beginning at 11:45 in the morning, Eric and I are going to be live at Taylor's Tavern in Holly for Michigan, Ohio State. Kickoff is at noon. Come on out, have some lunch with us, a couple of drinks. Let's talk some shit and watch some football. It is the Sports Reel podcast live on location in Holly, Taylor's Tavern, this Saturday, November the 29th, 11:45 a.m.
We're gonna take a shot for that great Lapeer East and Lapeer West rival. That's why I'm gonna say that first.
Absolutely, we will. We'll probably wind up doing a few shots for a few different reasons. So
That's true too.
be that as it may. Scott, great to see you and hear from you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming
Yes,
on
thank
the
you,
show.
Scott.
Glad to be
Have
here. I'll be down Saturday, definitely.
Awesome. Well, we will have an open mic for you, my friend. So
Hell yeah.
we're going to have 2 open mics for anybody that wants to be on the show with us as we watch, hopefully, we watch the Wolverines of Michigan kick the shit out of Ohio State and extend that winning streak over, what, 2,200 days now, Eric?
2,188 days.
We're coming. All right. See, I was in the ballpark.
You were.
All right. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a very happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Go out, be safe, be awesome to yourselves and to each other. We'll see. Eric and I will see you on Saturday, and the rest of us will see you on Tuesday, right here on the Sports Reel podcast as a part of the PFC Entertainment Network.
Let's go Lions.
Go Pistons.
Go Red Wings. And fucking go Ohio.
I hate you.